Hey guys, welcome to episode 115 of the Beginning of the Week podcast. That's right, that's 115 of the podcast. Let's see where we go this time, huh? Let's go. Let's do this thing. All right, guys. Wow, we've arrived. We are vertical. We're upright, taking nourishment. We're doing this thing called life. Huge thanks for tuning in and being a part of this so-called audio adventure, I guess, that we call a podcast. And while you're here, man, hit the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. That would be wonderful if you do that thing, man. Hit that thing. Hit, you know? And if not, man, we could still vibe. It ain't no thing. We're gonna do this regardless, man. So, but before we jump into the episode, I wanted to say thank you to our guest last week, Mrs. Winter Lackey. She spells her name Yntre, so it's Wintre, but we call it Winter, man, and that's just how it goes. But she came in last week, and we had a good time. We talked about some of her tattoo work and how, what it takes to become a tattoo artist, and how to get your foot into that sort of art. And man, she was just an absolute pleasure, man, more than anything. And I would love for her to come back. The studio is always open to her. And maybe someday we can do it again, and we can get more in depth about like how, how her work has proceeded over the years, how it's gotten better, how she's gotten better. Because that's what we want, man. We just want people to succeed and be better, man. So, but if you missed last week's episode, check it out, man. It's episode 114. And if you want to see some of her work, you can go to www.wynsksart. That's winksart.com. So www.winksart.com, man. Check her out. And if you like what she does, make an appointment, man. She's on Main Street in Hendersonville. So there you go, Win. You got that plug in there. You got the plug. So, all right, guys. Man, I don't know about the color of this shirt. I feel like I'm nestled up in like I just stole it off of a little baby or something like that. But this is, I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of color this is. It's like a baby blue or some sort of thing. But, anyways, well, get ready, guys. Get ready, because you know what we got coming up this week? We got the 4th of July happening on Friday, baby. That's what we got. And that's why we got the studio decked out sort of in red, kind of a white and blue theme in here. But that's what it is, and that's where we're at. So, but the 4th of July, man, that's a really special time, And I guess I'm going to tell you why. All right, I'm going to break it down for you the way that you've never heard it before. So get ready to hear some of this star-spangled banter of a history lesson for your dang eardrums. You ready for this? I think this is how it's going to go. I don't know. I'm just coming up with it, and we're just going to see where it goes, man. So let's see where to start. Okay, so picture this, right? Okay, it's 1776 or whatever, and there's a squad. There's a squad of some serious dudes, and mostly pasty whites. They're wearing their makeup, and they got those powdered wigs on, and because apparently that's the thing to do back then. Was wear something that made you kind of look like a gay mime or just a mime or whatever. And that's no offense to any gay person out there. That's just, what it is. And if that's what you're into, then that's what you're into. No big thing, man. It's either that or they look like a bunch of like Costco influencers or whatever. So anyway, these people, they all got together and said, hey, King George. I think it was King George, or maybe it was King Philip or something. Whatever it was, whoever it was. Honestly, they all kind of look the same, because if you look if you look at some of those oil paintings growing up, they all those dudes do. They all look the same. So, but anyways, basically they wrote this breakup letter. Okay. One of those letters that you would essentially, when you're writing it to a girlfriend or whatever, and you're like, oh no, it's not me, it's you. Wait, hold on, I got that backwards. It's not you, it's me. And just like that, a breakup happens. And so after that, these people essentially hopped on a bunch of ships and said, peace out, we're out. That's what we're doing. We aren't staying here getting our face kicked in and our babies' faces put into mud holes or whatever. We're tired of this. All right, so we're out. And once they got on the boats, they essentially everyone kind of was like looking at each other and everything, and they're like, man, so what's the game plan? And everyone's like, what? The game plan? Like, what do you mean game plan? Yeah, where are we going? And they're like, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? And they're like, we don't know. We don't have a freaking clue where we're going. As long as we get out of there, then we're good. We're golden. So essentially, that's what they did. They packed up, they left, and I guess it's kind of, in a way, if you really think about it, it's kind of like almost like like America packed up its metaphorical book bag or whatever, man. And then after they threw the book bag on their back, and they turned around and looked at England, and they just slammed the screen door and yelled out, like, you aren't my real dad, England. You can't control me. I don't want your life, or whatever Justin Bieber said, or whatever that kid is. So anyway, so when they landed and everything, what we know as America right now, they signed the Declaration of Independence, and that right there was what gave us an excuse to wear all these flag-themed Susan B. Anthony shirts, where she's showing off some of that cleavage she's got going on, some of those goods, or nowadays you could probably catch a man sporting around a tank top from Walmart, and that thing's got a bald eagle on it, and maybe and that thing's riding a T-Rex through fireworks or some odd shit. You know what I'm talking about, because that's what America's all about now. On 4th of July, wearing ridiculous shit, popping off those dang fireworks at maybe a best friend or your cousin or a little brother, or maybe a neighbor you don't really care for, whatever, man. And eating those grilled meats, baby, because those grilled meats, God, like a damn beef shake lamb or a chicken claw or whatever, just a damn beautiful rack of, half a rack of ribs. You'll dip your damn elbows in that barbecue sauce. You'll be elbow deep in that stuff with your face just all glazed up like you've been just sitting in the sun for 4 hours. And you're just socially unavailable at that time until further notice. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's just what barbecue ribs are. They're just beautiful. And they're just so stinking good, man. It'll change you as a person, your manners change. You go from slicing and dicing with a fork, being real polite, to just eating that shit like a damn Neanderthal, and then you got all those delicious sides, baby. You got those sides. You got the mac and cheese, that fluffy macaroni, and the potato salad, and those damn, that stuff tastes so damn heavenly, and what else, man? You got those yolk busters, those damn heavenly yolk bombs. You know what I'm talking about? Those deviled eggs, and it's just, oh God, so good, man. I had a buddy one year. He drank so much alcohol and ate too many deviled eggs that he tried to baptize his dog with paprika, and declared his backyard what do you call it, man? It was like a sovereign nation or something like that, something crazy. And that passed out behind the grill for a couple hours, and when he came to, he was just, he didn't know where he was at. But that's some good times, man. But man, I was just thinking a little bit about that, about just, how about these people that came over from England, man, and what they must have felt like, when they left, because they couldn't take much more, like with them, like they couldn't just pack up their whole house and like bring it with them. Maybe they brought a couple pairs of clothes and, shoved that shit in a knapsack or something like that, and maybe some other personal stuff, like maybe maybe an old grandfather locket or something that someone gave to their grandson, or maybe this, maybe they're, maybe just a single cup, and they're passing that thing around dinner time, and that's just what they did, while they're chewing on, whatever they were chewing on the boat, man. Maybe some sort of damn pigeon pie, or maybe, a meat gummy, whatever that is, Maybe they just balled up some damn, I don't know, man, some beaver tail and popped that in their mouths, and they were chewing on that like a damn, like some chewing tobacco or something like that, and they just, they're holding that over, they're trying to chew on that as gracefully as they can for the next couple hours, but I can only imagine, I can only imagine what it was like to be there, to be them on the ocean water, and it's just like day after day, and then, I'm sure the people are dying from, diarrhea and dysentery and just like maybe just fucking just being straight up ugly or something like that. I mean, I don't know, who knows, but then when they got here, after that long boat ride, when they got here, I'm sure they felt like, I'm sure they didn't feel very welcome, I guess. That's what I'm thinking, man. And in certain cases, I can kind of relate to that, not feeling welcome. Like when I moved to Asheville, this place that I'm in right now, when I moved here, I felt completely out of place. And I know that might sound, that sounds strange. It does. I mean, but honestly, I didn't know. Man, when I got here, this is going to sound so weird, okay? But when I got here, I didn't know how to hang out with other white kids. From the ages of 4 to 11, I grew up around Hispanic communities and in El Paso and then Savannah, which was, predominantly black. And that's who I grew up with, man. And that's who I understood. I understood their culture and everything. So when I came up here, and I kind of felt like those people coming over from England. I didn't know how to exist in this space, because I'm not a mountaineer or anything, but I was like, I guess I was trying to find my own I was an independent. I was trying to find my own independence, if that makes any sense, I guess. Because when I got here, man, a lot of people weren't exactly rolling out the welcoming mats. You know what I mean? I was kind of an outsider, if you want to call me that, but not like someone that shows up with damn lights on their sneakers and those glow in the dark LA Gear shoes. Remember those back in the day? You take a step and that those things would brighten up the damn kitchen if you needed them to. But I'm not trying to show up with those on to a household that doesn't allow shoes in the house, or bring bring sushi to a potluck casserole dinner or something like that. But I don't know. That kind of outsider, I guess, is what I'm going for. But I wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't doing that kind of chaos, I guess. I wasn't trying to influence anyone. I just felt like all the friend groups here were already full, I guess. Like I showed up to a party and it kind of felt like I showed up to a party and every chair was taken. Even the damn weird wobbly one in the corner that no one wants to sit in, But to be honest, man, I've always felt like an outsider, I guess. Even in a group. Yeah. Because people always look at me like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Your thought process is just all out of whack, all out of sorts. And it's just, I don't know. We just like we get you, but we don't get you. And maybe that's fine. That's fine by me. I would hate for people to completely understand what I'm talking about all the time, because then I'd be fucking boring, dude. And what's more boring than knowing what someone's going to say or how they're going to react or anything? Because that's not fun. I mean, that's not, I don't know. I guess that's that part of me is just, that's not a part of me. That's not what, that's not my makeup. That's not what I've been instilled with, I suppose. So, because, man, there have been plenty of people that have, that think that everyone needs to think just like them or act like them or in order to be, in order to be a part of this so-called club that we're in, that sort of thing, and, joke's on them, babe. That joke's on them, I'll start my own club, membership, me, and this raccoon I saw behind this gas station or whatever, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think about stuff like this sometimes, not necessarily people coming over on a ship or anything, but what it could have, what it did feel like moving here, and how everyone already had their cliques, and all the families got together every weekend. All the friends knew, like the baseball. There was a baseball team that I joined, and all those guys grew up together, and all their, they were all friends, and their mom and dads were friends with the other mom and dads on the team, and that sort of thing. So I just felt like I wasn't a part of it again. I just felt like I just moved to a new country, But so now but now that I've been here, and someone else that moves into this area, I can relate to them, just like I can relate to those people on the boat, I guess. But anyways, man, sorry to get off. I got off on a freaking tangent. I was telling you about 1776 and all that, but damn, man, happy 4th of July, huh? Happy 4th of July coming up this Friday. It's awesome, and you don't have to have someone there to to do 4th of July with. You could do it by yourself, you know? You should enjoy yourself, whether you are with a group of people or if you're just doing your own thing, you know? With a group, without a group. You deserve to have some fun, man. So, you know, get out there and go light off a couple M80s in your neighbor's front yard and, you know, maybe sing the Star Spangled Banner, you know, like or maybe, hell, man, sit around a campfire and tell them the story that I just told you about, you know. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Do your thing, man. So, but yeah, anyways, again, happy 4th of July to everyone out there, this upcoming Friday, and please stay safe. You know, don't try to blow off your dang toenails and you know, maybe half a quarter of a limb or something like that. You know, you don't want to go back to school after summer and with an eye that's lost because somebody decided that they were gonna break out a Roman candle and blow you in the face. So, anyways, all right. Well, dude, usually we leave the news until last, but hell, let's just do it now. Might as well. Shoot, we're on this ship together. We're rowing about. So, but anyways, let's see. What do we got here? I guess we can jump into this one. And we don't have very much news, but we got something. So, the Liver King was arrested for threatening Joe Rogan. Huh? Joe Rogan versus the damn Liver King. I was gonna call him the Lion King, but the damn Liver King. I don't know exactly what happened, but it says right here that the Liver King was arrested after posting a series of intense videos threatening Joe Rogan, challenging him to a fight and saying he was willing to get choked out even if he were to die in the process. Despite having no ninjutsu training, he traveled to Austin, Texas, where Rogan lives, prompting police to intervene. Rogan said that he found the post threatening and had never interacted with the Liver King. Johnson, aka the Liver King again, was arrested and charged for making a terrorist threat, and he got a Class B misdemeanor. The feud stems from Rogan previously calling the Liver King out for lying about his steroid use. Dude. All right, well, first off, okay, the first thing that comes to my mind real quick is you're off your damn rocker if you think getting choked out by Joe Rogan and calling it a win is something. Like that's not a strategy. That's not a strategy. You know, that's a weird wish. You know, you got some weird shit going up in your cranium. You know, I mean, something is up with you, dude. Like, what is it? Like, what, like, isn't this the same dude that, like, gave him, the same cat that, like, I think he, what'd he do, man? Didn't he give himself I think he gave himself a damn coffee enema or some odd weird shit, whatever, like in some, let's see. I gotta look it up, dude. I gotta look it up. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Did the Liver King give himself a yeah. What did I say? The coffee enema? Yeah. Yeah. Did he give this as a coffee? Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, he did. He did it in a hotel shower. What a freaking weirdo, dude. Man, look, buddy boy, throwing a cup of Joe in your ass is absolutely insane. I don't know what you're thinking. It's like he heard coffee gives you energy and thought, well, what if I skip the middle, man, and go straight to the source? You know what I'm talking about? Coffee's, dude. Hey, Liver King, coffee is for sipping, dude. Not for some reverse engineering, on your digestive system, like a DIY espresso machine or whatever the hell you want to call it. You fucking maniac. Like what? I've never understood that. A coffee enema. Like who's doing that in a hotel shower? Like that's not. I mean, he's supposed to be like ancestral or whatever. Like he's wearing damn frog hats and beaver skins and raccoon legs and all that other stuff on him, or like a banshee on his head or whatever. Like that's ancestral living. Well, wait, am I ancestral? No, ancestral. I'm saying that right. Shit, hell, knowing him, he could be both. Who knows, But that's how you get banned from a damn Marriott. That's what happens, Somewhere, somehow, some way, there's a damn housekeeper out there, and she is telling this story to all of her familia, baby. That's what it is. Every little family gathering, they get ready for this upcoming 4th of July, because that's a damn story right there. She's like, hey, bro. Hey, bro. I don't know why she's saying that, but hey, bro, you know what I found? I found this coffee enema from the Liver King. And the Liver King, he shoots diarrhea all over the bathroom, the shower wall. And now I go in there, I clean up doo-doo, and it took 20 rags, 20 clean rags. And now, and I don't know why she's sounding Arabian or whatever, and it sounds like a guy almost, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, that's what she is. Oh, here's some more potato salad. Eat some barbecue, and we can think about the Liver King shit, Yeah. And, man, but that's crazy, man. And besides, you're going to fight Joe Rogan? You're going to fight this man who would literally put you into a damn naked triangle, and just literally kick your head right off your fucking shoulders, and then probably pick it up and just eat that thing. He'd eat that thing. He'd be like, oh, well, you know what? The venison's a little stale or a little gummy today. But you know what? I'll have the Liver King's. I'll have half a nose and half of his cheekbone. And we're going to grill that up, and I'm going to serve that to my next guest or whatever. But, man, I don't know what you're thinking when you are trying to go after Joe Rogan, and he's just going to fucking just chop suey your ass right in half, dude. That's a no. You got to be out of your damn mind. And then you go all the way out to damn Austin, to try to track this dude, to try to track Rogan down, and you're saying shit about his family and all that other stuff. This guy's a, you know what? I've never liked the dude. All right, I don't understand why we make such a big fucking deal of this dude. It's just some of these people on social media, and you guys are probably saying, well, you're one of them, dude. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I am. But I'm not trying to go out and pick fights with people. I'm not trying to get my head decapitated from a size 10 shoe that's coming at me at 70 miles an hour. Have you seen Joe Rogan kick a damn punching bag? The bag, at one point in time, I swear, in one video, the bag went, "Ooh!" And you're like, what? And then he did it again, and then it was like, oh! And then you saw the bag send out an SOS somewhere, like, stop punching me, just out of breath, because that's what would happen to you, Liver King. I mean, don't get me wrong, you got those flexy pectoral muscles that would probably, end, if you stuck a fucking, a potato in there or a deviled egg and you crack one of those, then okay, I get it, you got it. But for you to even try to go after just Joe Rogan, and I love how Joey Diaz says it, Joe Rogan, listen to me, Joe Rogan, yeah, that's insane, man. That's fucking insane, man. That's unbelievable. Well, hopefully he has his shit straightened out by now. But okay, man, what else do we got going on, man? Well, one of my friends, I was talking to him on the phone. This cat that lives in Savannah still, this guy Grant, that I, he and I go all the way back to 4th grade, dude. And he used to have this fucking flat fucking haircut, like one of those kid and play haircuts, It's stand up about maybe 2 feet off of his head, and he'd put damn race cars in his hair and all sorts of like weird, ridiculous stuff. And he and I, like, man, it was like we looked at each other and we were like, dude, we're gonna be buddies, aren't we? And sure enough, it's lasted like that. But so we've kept up this relationship for a while, and he was talking about his son having to go to summer school. And dang, dude, summer school. Man, that brought me back, dude, because for me, man, I had to go to summer school. I probably went 2.5 summers. Something like that for a bunch of dumb shit. For me, essentially, not doing school while school is in session during summer, during school hours or whatever. I wasn't good at geometry. I don't do math well, and that's just what it is. But he was telling me how his kid was failing English, or he did fail English, so he had to go to summer school. And dude, like, that just brought back so many things, because like summer school, the thing, if you guys haven't been to summer school, it's kind of like, it was always different, because you had a mix of kids, not mixed kids, just, a mix of them, and meaning like these kids, like all of us, it was like the Breakfast Club almost, we all, like, they threw us in together, and it was all sorts of, it was a plethora of kids. You had a goth kid, that listened to Marilyn Manson, and then you had maybe a jock, that didn't really play for the team during the year, but he was a part of the team. And then you had like a couple other guys in there, a kid that, I remember this one kid, one summer, he would always bring his lunch to school and everything. And he would always eat a mayonnaise and bologna sandwich. And he'd sprinkle M&Ms in that thing. And man, if you ask me, that's the type of kid that fits description for going to summer school, But I always thought that summer school was just so much better than regular school. And people are like, are you crazy, dude? It's fucking summer. And you want to go to school? And it's like, no, I don't want to go to school, but I'll pick this school. I would rather pick this school than regular school. You only have to go for half of the day. You got your teachers tend to be more relaxing and everything because they don't want to be there either. They're just doing it to do something for the summer because teachers don't get paid very well, which is bullshit. All right. And you could practically wear anything that you wanted to because the dress code was so lax. It really didn't mean much. So like that was always a good time. And the whole atmosphere was just less intense, dude. You didn't in the end, you just didn't like you didn't think of it as school. And the crazy thing is with all this conglomerate of different children or young adults or whatever you want to call them, at the end at the beginning, you didn't know who anybody was, but then at the end, you're like, dang, dude, I'm actually friends with a guy that I never thought I'd be friends with, like it's like the first. It's so strange how it works. It's like the first week, everyone's like, you're like, you gotta be here, and it sucks, and it's just, it just feels like a bunch of rejects or rejects or somebody that, a group of kids that weren't bright enough to just get through geometry like myself, that sort of thing or whatever. Ronnie over there is not doing well in history because maybe he just found it boring and didn't want to take the test, but he could recite dates out of his ass. And you're like, well, how come you just couldn't do that on the test? And he's like, because it's fucking boring, right? Overachievers, they call them. But week one goes by, then by week two, dude, the class becomes this like, it's like a little weird family in a way. You've trauma bonded in a way, if that makes any sense. Like because you've had to take all these quizzes and tests, and you had to, and you did it in a trailer that had a broken AC unit. The air conditioner wasn't working the entire time. And by the third week, you guys are damn rooting for each other, like it's some bad reality show or something like that. You're like, come on, Kevin, you can do it, dude. You can do it. You can pass this test. Come on, Kevin. Come on. But you always had that one kid, that had, that one kid that's been there. Like he's there every single summer. Like his parents kicked him out of the house and he doesn't know where to go. So he just goes to summer school, and he knows all the teachers, and he knows, how to, he knows all the vending machine quirks and that sort of deal, because, every summer, I think they, at least around here, they essentially put you in at one high school to another high school. It's like this summer you're going to blah, 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 blah. And then next summer you're going to this school instead. So, but that kid always like went from school to school and everything. And he always had the secrets, about how to how to get out early and how to essentially, cheat if you got, Mrs. Lewis or whatever, and Mrs. Lewis, I had this, one of my old English teachers, she kind of looked like that old Spunkameyer's granny or whatever on the package, of those little morsel cookie packages. You know what I'm talking about? She kind of looked like that, and we would always, like, whenever she had her back turned, we'd always like get up and act like we were like, kind of teasing her a little bit, like smacking her ass in the air and that sort of thing. And it's probably why I went to summer school. So, but yeah, so I'm like, Grant, dude, summer school, did you ever go? And he's like, nah, man, I never had to do that. And I'm like, because you're a good student. and I myself am not. So, but yeah, man, I wish in a way that, like, I don't know, there were good times and they were like really shitty times. I guess it just all depends what, again, I wasn't great in math. So, I had to take algebra twice. Geometry, like I said, failed that thing, and then had to, just go to summer school, man. And that's just what it was. So, and the funny thing is, when I went to college, most of my, not to make this thing all about me or whatever, and maybe some of you guys can relate to this, but my whole entire degree deals with math. Yeah, the entire thing. And I am horrible at it. So for all you guys that are listening, if you guys aren't good at something, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm dumb. So, but I think if you know that saying, if there's a will, there's an ain't, or there's a will, there's a space, or there's a will, there's a way. That's what it is. Like I said, the tongue, the mind, and the body is all over the place today. So, but man, there's just so many cool people that I met in summer school, and in certain cases, it makes me wonder what they're doing now, man. So. But Grant, baby, you got your son, he was like, dang it, I now got to wake up and I got to take him to school and this and that and the other. And I'm like, how far away is the school from your house? And he's like, it's just a couple blocks. I'm like, Grant, you're a dude. There's so many names I want to call you, but, I love you, kid. So, but, anyways, man, not much else is going on, guys. Again, if you guys missed last week's episode, check that out. And I guess I'm going to roll, man. Get ready for this upcoming Friday where we pew, 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 pew. You know what I'm talking about? All those fireworks going off. And there's nothing sexier than fucking making out with a girl underneath a bunch of booming bottle caps in the air or whatever, But if you got that going on, you better touch a little leg or a little hip, or maybe touch someone on the elbow or something. Give a little shoulder back blade rub. The rub. God, those ribs, dude. Ooh, kiss her on the ribs. All right. Well, anyways, guys, enjoy your 4th of July. Again, stay safe. Hope to see you guys next Monday. Because it is Monday. I forgot to mention that. So, anyways. All right, guys, I'm going to roll. Stay true to yourselves, man. And again, hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm talking about? All right. I'm telling you, man, this is, and my buddy got this for me, and it says Real Tree Fishing. And I'm not trying to sponsor them or sport them out or whatever. And I don't even fish, but shit, man, this is some comfortable shit right here. So, anyways, all right, guys, be well to yourselves, and I'll see you next week. All right, love you. Take care.